Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2024. I can't believe I almost said 2023. This is the Think Big podcast. We're going to have our most handsome host here today, Sam Singh. We have myself, Alejandro Alvarez, Marlon as well, Mr. Johnson showing up here in a minute. Today is going to be pretty interesting. I feel like I'm going to be here just absorbing knowledge selfishly. But Mr. Sam, welcome to 2024, brother. And by the way, I don't know if I thanked you last year, but thank you so much for being on this journey with all of us in 2023, man. We've been consistently showing up every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Arizona time, brother. So thank you so much for being part of the journey as well. You made it a lot more enjoyable for me.
Bro, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We do a lot of goal setting things. We do a lot of we do a lot of reflections on quarters past and quarters forward. There's something really different about 2024, in my opinion. There's something that feels different in 2024, and I'm excited to see what we can do, see what all of our followers can do, because I actually had this call today with a really amazing young entrepreneur, and I was talking to her about the levels that she's unlocking. And one thing that we really got to talk about is how when we set these goals, right? People start in this industry and they say, hey, I want to make $1 million in the next year. People don't realize like making $1 million in a year is not easy. That shit is hard. It is really hard. Now you can luck your way to maybe $1 million a year or whatever, but to do it predictably guaranteed in a very mathematical fashion is extremely difficult. And we had this conversation about how we start making these big claims. We're gonna do $1 million. We're gonna do $2 million. We're gonna buy 1,000, doors or whatever the hell it is. And it's starting to feel different, man. Because a lot of times we say these goals and what we don't actually believe ourselves when we say them. And I'm at a point now where I'm starting to say some shit and I'm starting to really feel and understand that we can get it done. The reason why, man, over the last 6 months, we've been getting a lot of shit done. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do today is I want today to be very heavy in terms of tactics and value and very much applied value. So it is officially the start of Q1. It is officially the start of 2024. And guys, remember 2024, it doesn't start a month from now. It doesn't start 15 days from now. Whenever you start feeling like you want to get your shit together, 2024 started yesterday. It's already been a day. We're already a day into 2024. And there's a lot of people who haven't gotten anything done yet. So for a lot of people today, what I want to do is I want to showcase to you how to mathematically, scientifically set a goal in terms of your revenue and find out what it's going to take to hit that. So with that being said, Alejandro, we are going to go right into it. And I'm going to show everyone how to A, set a revenue goal for a quarter, right? A quarter of the year. And then B, reverse engineer all of those numbers to showcase how you can scientifically hit that revenue from a very predictable standpoint. And then C, I'm going to give away the tools that they need to make sure they can do this on their own. So Alejandro, let's pick a goal, man. Let's pick a goal. What type of revenue should someone aggressively be chasing in Q1?
I'm going to say the 250, man. I think that's really doable for even someone by themselves. Because I myself, even when I first started doing wholesaling, that was very, very achievable to do it by yourself. And you know what, Sam? I mean, you've been working so hard, bro. That 250 is almost like, yeah, man, we've been there, we've done that. We got to keep it going. Let's go ahead and let other people or give other people the blueprint on how to do it. So, I appreciate you for even bringing this for everyone else. And by the way, guys, Sam has paid thousands and thousands of dollars for this information. I understand that this YouTube is free, and as humans, we tend to not value things that are free, but you need to value this, take notes, because that's how actually I used to get better when I was broke. I would go listen to information and I would take action on it. Just because it was free doesn't mean I'm not valuing it. I'm valuing it a lot. So this is something you guys should take, especially even in a situation where you want to continue achieving your goals and changing your life financially, guys. I don't know if you've been seeing what's going on for the past year, but if you're not making money, dude, bananas prices has went up, milk prices has went up. Don't get left behind. So, Mr. Sam,
I literally paid $6 today for a gallon of milk, bro, and I was like, what the Like, what the shit happened? So absolutely. So anyone that knows, a lot of you guys have been coming to my master classes, guys. Like, what we do on YouTube is amazing. It's free, and everything I do is for free. I don't charge. But when I show up to my master classes, the 5 hours, when you're on Zoom with me live for 5 hours, and I show you everything, you guys may know this. I actually just audited this, Alejandro, over the last 18 months. I've actually spent over $150,000 in private mentorship for myself, in terms of me paying people above me to learn from them. And what I've realized is they speak about revenue and money and profit differently than the rest of us do. We hope to do a 6-figure month, and they're like, no, this is what it's going to take. So what I did is I did this masterclass a couple of weeks ago called Killer KPIs. So if you guys read Killer KPIs, you guys know what this is all about. It's one of the best things I've ever done, because it's given predictability to so many people. And what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to mathematically set a goal. In this case, $250,000 in a quarter, a 3-month cycle, Q1. We're going to call that quarter for the quarter. So let's do quarter for the quarter today in a very condensed format. I'm going to show you how to set the goal, how to mathematically reverse engineer all the numbers. And then for everyone that follows the homework at the very end, I will actually send you a copy of the tool that I'm using so you can implement it in your business in real time. Ready to go. Alejandro, we good to go, man?
Yes, sir. I am indeed.
Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share screen so you guys can all see this. Let me know, because I can't see you guys right now while I'm screen sharing this. It goes full screen from me. So let me know if you guys see this.
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, I see a fancy Excel sheet that has a lot of shit on it. Okay, sweet. I want you guys to pay attention to this, okay? You see on the bottom here, it's a start here. Part 1, revenue goals. Part 2, marketing. Part 3, team. Part 4, deals. And there's more that's hidden behind this. What's going to end up happening is this is actually, I didn't just make this right now for this YouTube live. Like, this is actually something that I've put together. It's taken me weeks to do it, to really showcase how people can set KPIs, track them, and meaningfully implement them in their business. Alejandro, you and I are both visionaries. I think you feel this as much as I do. As much as we understand KPIs are the most important thing, we typically hate KPIs, because as visionaries, we don't like thinking about the numbers. We don't like thinking about the little processes. And I am a firm believer that most visionaries in any industry fail because they can't comprehend or approach or implement KPIs meaningfully. And so what I've basically done is I have gone into every mastermind mentorship that I'm in, that I've paid over $150,000 for, all of them. And I went and reviewed all of their KPI sheets, all of their docs, all of their showing you how to level up as a business owner. And I basically said all of them sucked. And I'm like, let me make it in a way where it's systematic, it's approachable, it's meaningful, and we're not going to become, excuse my language, KPI whores, where we're just going to track everything and everything just because we like numbers. The reality is you need to track a lot of shit, but you don't want to become so indulgent in tracking that you spend so much of your time in the weeds that nothing actually gets done. And what I've done is I've created this amazing, amazing document. It's called, you can see it at the top, it's called Killer KPIs, the stuff you need to track to make $1 million. And this is tied to a real estate acquisition company. If you're a wholesaler, if you're a flipper, if you're trying to buy properties and you're going direct to seller marketing, this is going to be your holy doctrine. And I'm not joking. I'm going to stand by this, Alejandro. I think that this one document, honestly, is worth more than $10, $15, $20,000 mentorships. I know, because I'm in them. And before I finally sent this out, I told people I was going to send it out, and they were like, "Sam, what's going on? Why isn't it gone out yet? Why are you delaying on it?" The reason was because I went back into every one of those mentorships to make sure that none of them were better. And those mentorships, some of them charge up to 30 grand for every 6 months. And I want to make sure I'm going to do it better than everybody and give it away for free. So Alejandro, do me a favor. I want to make sure that we're answering questions too, because we are going to get technical today. So stop me if there's questions, because I can't see, the comments right now. I'm only seeing this. So do we have any right now so far?
Oh,
okay, beautiful. So guys, we're only going to go over this one tab, and that is setting the goals for the quarter. And then who knows, if you guys like this, if you guys love this, we may go into the next part next week, and the next part next week. And I can guarantee you, if we spend 4 weeks, 5 weeks going through all of this stuff, I can almost guarantee you guys make $250,000 as long as you do your part. But this is part one of Killer KPIs. And this is reverse engineering revenue goals. So this is important. I'm going to walk you guys through all the steps and why they matter. Part one, we track various metrics daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. Okay. There's going to be different things that you track. It's not all one size fits all. Every metric is going to have a different KPI behind it, a different cadence behind how often you report it. This is critical. We do not set revenue goals monthly. You guys hear us say it. We constantly say the word or the phrase, a 6-figure month. That's great. And we do 6-figure months. That's awesome. It's a great thing to do, but we actually don't set goals that way. Why? Because in the world of real estate, deals take time to close. Shit happens. Liens pop up. HOAs try to foreclose on the property in the middle of your escrow, and then you have to extend it by 3 weeks, right? All of these things happen. Deals fall through. Real estate and marketing channels in real estate have what's known as a CCC, a cash conversion cycle. This is why we don't set goals monthly. We set them on a quarterly basis to give enough time for us to actually confidently close deals and get enough metrics behind what's going on. So this one tab right now, right, that we're going to look at today in terms of revenue goals is how you launch your business, set your goals for it for the upcoming quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters. And then this is actually going to be what drives what your team is chasing. This is how you set culture because you're having them chase a number. So luckily you said quarter, right? 250,000. It's already inputted here. Okay. Realized revenue goal. Now this doesn't say, you guys notice here is realized revenue goal. And then there's another number here. I'm going to explain why they're different. So realized revenue, it doesn't mean this is how much we locked up, how much we contracted, how much the assignments are worth. This is straight up how much money is hitting our bank account at the end of the day. We've done the deal, opened escrow, found a buyer, closed it. This is what we are getting sent to our bank account. If you want to realize a revenue goal of $250,000 in a quarter, 3 months, okay, you're going to put this here. Now, successful close ratio. That sounds confusing. It's really simple. Out of all of the deals you lock up, okay, how many deals are actually successfully closing at the end of the day? I think the industry standard typically across the board is about 1 in 4 deals will fall through an escrow. And if you're a shitty wholesaler, you're going to do a lot worse. If you're better, more of your deals are going to close. The reality here, guys, is that you want your successful close ratio to be between 70 to 80%. Alejandro, do you know why 70 to 80%? Why don't we want it to be 90 to 100%?
Well, a lot of things can happen that's out of your control. You know, sometimes you will even have some sellers that lie that they are the owner of the property. Title companies will let you know once they do the title research. Then you have sellers that ghosted you. Someone died in the process of escrow. There's some liens on the property that doesn't even let you close on the property. It's so many different things.
Well, let me ask you this, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's all extremely true. It's all extremely true. Mm-hmm. What if someone comes to you and they verifiably have a 95% successful close rate? There is a problem with that. You know what that is?
Ooh, I do not. Please enlighten me.
So,
write that down.
If someone has, let's just say, a 15% successful close rate, what does that mean? That means they locked up 100 deals, locked up 100 contracts, only 15% closed, 15 of them closed. That means they're shotgunning offers, they're giving sellers whatever they want, and they're bad deals, right? Mm-hmm. And this is going to burn your personal credibility in your marketplace. Your buyers are going to hate you because you're setting out bad deals. Now, conversely, what if someone comes to you and they have this number right here, 90%, right? Don't worry about these numbers changing. That's just automatic. The reality is this. It means that, or let's just say, every deal, they lock up 100 deals in a quarter and all 100 close. What ends up happening is it means they're playing too safe. They're only locking up deals that they know are going to be slam dunks. And what ends up happening there, Alejandro, is they're leaving money on the table by not taking chances. So when I first got into extremely high-level masterminding and one-on-one coaching, I had a really freaking high close rate. I think people don't know this, but in 2021, In 2021, my close rate was about 92.5%. And I had my chest up, my chin up. I was like, damn, this is good, right? I'm a huge badass for this. The reality is it meant that I was leaving so much money on the table because I was only taking chances on deals that I knew were good deals, that were amazing, the best deals, right? Because I was reverse wholesaling to a lot of hedge funds, and I wouldn't lock up the deal unless the hedge fund said yes already and they like had the offer in. What ended up happening is I probably left, bro, probably a couple $100,000 in profit on the table by not just taking a chance. So the reality is, guys, you want to shoot the shot. Okay, you want to shoot this shot. You don't want to be at 100% close rate because it means you're leaving money on the table. You don't want to be at 10% close rate because it means you're taking too many shots and it's wasting your own time. 70 to 80%, that range is right about the perfect range. Cool.
I have a question, Sam, because this is something that I myself didn't understand. It's like one of those things, like when people say it costs you money not to hire someone.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things like I just never really understand. So when you say, hey, it's having 100% close ratio means you're leaving money on the table. So just to unpack that, because I know there's other people like me out there to be like, what the heck does that mean? What isn't it better to just have 100% close ratio? Well, do you rather make $250,000 with 100% close ratio, or do you rather make $450,000 with 75% close ratio? Which one sounds better? Obviously, for $450,000. So I just wanted to elaborate there a little bit because when you said it, I'm like, man, I remember when someone would talk like this, and I'd be like, what? What are you talking about?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
No, I love that. I'm gonna, I just saw this, so I'm actually hopping back into the back end here to the studio. I'm seeing this. Some people are coming in a little bit late. That's totally fine. Brandon, good to see you, man. Asking how is the spreadsheet? Are you guys gonna have access to it? You absolutely will. And at the end, I'm not only gonna give you access to it. You guys are actually missing a very viable, important column here. There's actually a column here in this J that is missing that I've deleted for this specific live. And what that is it's going to be an entire column of nothing but amazing insight into the spreadsheet, into every metric, into what to expect, what's a good range, what's a bad range, problems that will be uncovered. These are called Sam's Insights. So right there under J, you're going to have a ton of insight. So you're actually going to get more than what I'm just showing here. You're going to get a lot more, but that's only if you stick to the end and you do the homework at the end. But first and foremost, guys, I think I'm getting a lot of amazing feedback in the comments. Guys, if you're appreciating this, and if you're finding value in this, one, blow up the comments. I want to see what questions you guys have. But two, do us a huge favor. Take a screenshot, put it on social media, get your friends in. Because there's people right now who are they want to do $100,000 a month right now. They have no freaking clue how to do it, and save them from paying someone 30 grand to learn how to do it. Because I'm going to show you how to do it for free. So let's get back to it, man.
Oh, and also, okay. I just want to add, Sam, if I may, I want to add for those who are waiting for the Excel sheet, I challenge you to try to recreate the whole sheet on a notepad. Write it down. Understand what Sam is doing, because I've been one of those guys where I just like, okay, keep talking, wait for the Excel sheet, and then when I get there, I forgot everything on how this thing works. So I would challenge you to make sure you're taking notes along the way. Try to recreate the whole Excel sheet to understand it, to force your brain. And it's not necessarily to go back in your notes. It's just to force your brain to fully understand the mechanics of it when you get that Excel sheet.
Yep, that is so good, because a lot of times people will give you KPI metrics of like, oh, well, what's your connect rate? Oh, what's your dials made? And they're going to say these numbers, and they're going to hold you to a bunch of numbers. But if you don't understand why those numbers matter, if you don't understand, guys, and I should have said this earlier, the whole point of a KPI, Alejandro, is not to just get insight into your business. It is not to just know what's going on in your business. I'm a firm believer that a KPI, you should not track it. Just so you guys know, when I made this sheet, all these sheets, what I did originally is I tracked every potential KPI, and then I asked myself this critical question. Does this KPI not only give me insight on my business, but can I make a tangible business decision based on this number alone? People will track all the shit in the world, but if it doesn't point to a problem specifically in the business that you can then implement or take action on, it's useless. excuse my language, but this is like KPI mental masturbation, honestly. This is one of those things where you start tracking shit that doesn't matter. So all of these things actually point to an element of your business that can be optimized or made better. But let's get back to it. So we don't want a 100% close rate. We want it at a 70 to an 80%. Let's meet in the middle, 75%. If you come to me and I audit your business and you're at a 75% close ratio, I will be pretty happy with that number. Okay. Now, if I want to realize a goal of $250,000 in profit in revenue, and 75% of the deals that I lock up do end up closing, I actually don't need to lock up 250K in assignment fees or profit or revenue. What I need to do is actually need to lock up more. I need to lock up 333,333, right? Why? Because remember, I lock up this amount of money, 25% of that's going to fall through. It's going to result in me having this. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. That's something so critical. People, when you want to make $250,000 in a quarter, right? Don't go lock up $250,000. Lock up more because stuff will fall through. So, and if you guys want to know, how do we actually get this number, this tool right here? What you're going to do is you're going to take your realized revenue goal, okay? And you're actually going to divide it by your close ratio, not multiply it, divide it by your close ratio of 75%. It'll actually give you this number right here. And remember, guys, I don't want you getting too caught in the weeds right now in this live because I will send you all this along with all of Sam's insights. Just process what I'm trying to teach right now. So next up, what's your average deal size? Gross, okay? Not what you're taking home to your pocket, but if you go and contract a seller, sell that contract for $15,000 or $20,000, is your average profit or revenue 20,000? Is it 25? Is it 50? Whatever it is. If you're a flipper, it's probably going to be higher. If you're a wholesaler, it's probably going to be a little bit lower. For this instance, Alejandro, do you know what your average deal size is right now?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, last quarter, it was about 12K.
12K. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use Alejandro's numbers just so we have an applied standpoint. So 12,000, okay? 12,000 is his average deal size. And that points to me that you're doing a lot of wholesale and probably a lot of creative finance deals where you're not getting massive spreads on your assignment fees.
Yep.
Oh,
Mostly,
okay.
most of the lower end assignment fee were very tight creative deals.
Cool. So guys, right now, if you look at this, right, if it's at 20,000, see how it changes this number down below? I'm going to put in 12,000. The number of deals Alejandro would have to contract to do $250,000 in the next 3 months with a $12,000 average deal size and a 75% successful close ratio is he would need 27.77 contracts, not closed deals. Because remember, 25% of them are going to fall through. He needs to lock up 27, almost 28 contracts to be able to end up with this goal up here. So
I like it.
Yep.
One of my acquisition guys actually did 27 by himself last month. It's pretty crazy. Actually, November.
Easy.
Sorry.
Yeah. Easy. Amazing. Well, okay, now we go. How many offers per contract are you averaging? Okay. Mm-hmm. And now, if you are averaging, if it takes you 7 offers now, I want to be very clear. This is going to be in the Sam's Insights. It's not here right now because I don't want to distract the screen too much. But what I want you guys to know is that you're not going to shotgun offers. An offer, a legitimate offer of this is what we're going to pay for your property, whether it's a creative or a cash offer, should only be going out to sellers who've been taken through a qualification process or call. If you just talk to that seller for the first time and say, hey, I want 250, you're like, cool, we'll offer you 220. That is not a qualified offer. You don't know the landmines. You don't know any of the problems that are going to be uncovered there. You need way more discovery, and you need to know that this person's real about this. Okay. Anthony asked a great question. I have a mandatory team meeting at 5 p.m. PST. How do I go about the spreadsheet as well? So Anthony, easy. I'm going to give you the homework up front just because you're here and I'm nice. All you have to do is simple. Once you have to be subscribed to all of us, to me, to Alejandro, right? You got to be subscribed to us. But 2, this is the most important thing. Take a screenshot and then share this on social media and tag us. Tag Alejandro and me. That way, what's happening is 1, you're helping us because we're reaching more people. Two, you're helping all the other people around you do more deals because they're going to crush and they're hopefully going to come find this video and get the spreadsheet as well. You do that, subscribe to both of us, take a screenshot, post on social media, tag us. That's it. Those two things. Once I see that, I'm going to get your email and I'm going to have my team send it to you. Epic. Okay. Moving on. So, offers. How many offers to contract? Guys, you should not be shotgunning offers. You should only be sending out qualified offers to people who've been taken through a really proper discovery process. If you are averaging 10 offers per contract, that means you've taken 10 sellers through a qualification process. And then out of all those 10 offers, only one of them lands in the contract. That's a horrible number. Horrible number. The reality is this number should be between about 2 and 4. Okay. And what that specifically means, and like Sam, why not 1? Wouldn't it be amazing if for every offer I got a contract? It's the same problem as the success ratio. That means that you're leaving money on the table, right? That means you're leaving money on the table by not shooting a shot here and there. If it's too low, right? 6, 7, 8 offers per contract, what ends up happening is you are actually shotgunning too much and you're not refining. So you don't want to be perfect, but you don't want to be horrible the opposite way. 2 to 4 is the right healthy amount. And then the reality is if it's too low, I can almost guarantee the problem is in your sales process. It's not in the lead quality. It's not in the marketing. It's in your sales process. Alejandro, what's up?
Can you give us a top 3 most indicator of a qualified seller that's ready for a qualified offer?
Oh, so good. So we'll take sellers through a qualification process and an indicator. So 1, are they going to have all the pillars, right? The 4 pillars? Not all of them, but most of them for the pain point to matter. For us, very specifically, our solution has to solve their problem. Big time. It has to solve their problem. Also, we need to know that this is the right time for them to make the decision. If we sense that they're not hurting enough to make the decision tomorrow or today, and they can wait 6 months, we are not sending out an offer. We're going to put them in a follow-up sequence and keep following up until they're ready. So 1, there has to be compatibility with our offer being a solution to their problem. 2, they have to be willing and present in making a decision. And 3, we have to know that if we shoot out this offer, right, that they're not going to shop our offer. Those are 3 really big ones for me. Because if they can shop it, it means that they've got time and freedom to do other things. It means that we're wasting our time. Alejandro, do you have 3 others that are important for you?
Honestly, bro, I think those are the best ones. I mean, there's always going to be more, but just so we don't confuse the guys, I think this would be the best ones. I love it, bro. Okay. Solutions that solve their problems. 4 pillars is 1. I know you didn't really count it as 1, but it's up there. Need to make sure they are ready to make a decision and not going to shop or offer around. And that's great because we get like quadruple commitment before we send an offer. Like, okay, great. So if this makes sense, we're ready to sign an agreement literally right after that.
Oh, so good. I'm going to add just a 4th one here. It's so important. He just mentioned it, and this is so important. We do get a verbal commitment, okay? A verbal commitment that if I put my offer in front of you, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on our offer today?
Yep.
So they have to be in a position where they are agreeing to us. They will make a yes or no. No maybes, no ghosting, no let me think about it. If you're not ready to hear the offer and to make a decision on it right now, we're not gonna put it out. So okay, amazing. So 2 to 4 offers per contract. We're gonna cut that in the middle. We're gonna go 3. Okay. So once you do that, oh, and I didn't say this before, but this is kind of self-explanatory. How do we get the number of deals you need to contract? Simple. You're going to take the how much you need to lock up number, right? This total number of how much revenue you need to lock up, and you're going to divide it by your average deal size. So you're going to take this, divide it by this, and that's going to give you this number right here. So I'm so sorry. I should have said that earlier. Okay. Now, this is where we get a little bit more granular with your marketing channel. Okay. Mm-hmm. We know all these numbers now, but how many leads do you need to generate a contract? For a lot of people in cold calling, if you're newbies, it's going to be 50, 55, 60. If you're doing cold call, but you're optimized and you have really phenomenal data, you're going to be doing way better, maybe like 40 to 45. The best teams in the country. So like with us on our cold call stuff, we're doing 35 leads per contract, which is obscene. But the reason why is because our cold calling, that's our cold calling bird, our data and our lists are so hyper dialed in. We basically have the best lists. So you can optimize this. So even though cold calling, the standard is 50, guys, make no bones about it. If you have cash, creative, novations, XYZ, all Morby method, all these strategies up your sleeve, you can decrease that number from 55 leads to a contract to 40. Now, if you stack that with the best niche data, you can get that to 35, even potentially lower. Same thing goes with texting. Same thing goes with PPC. Same thing goes with PPL. All these things. Your goal is to take the industry standard and get it better and better and better so you can get a higher ROI. So for us right now, it's a 35. I'm just going to put that there. All right, let's keep going. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm not going to go heavy into marketing. I even have a little tab right here that says marketing for KPIs. What I want you guys to know is I actually have a signature masterclass called Marketing Secrets. It's my favorite one. It's the one that I crush more than anything. We're going to do it later in this year. It's actually going to be very soon. If you want to see me show you how to do every marketing channel there is and how to do minimum $100,000 per month guaranteed in all of them, I'll actually show you how to do all of them, how to optimize them, how to set them up, how to crush them at the highest level, and how to automate them. So that's a different masterclass for another day. But if you have those questions, hit me up on social media, and then we'll get you in the mix of those later. Okay.
Do we get a little teaser? Little sneak. I'm sorry, guys. I tried.
No. Because, and here's why. Last time I did it, I had 550 people for 5.5 hours. I think this one's going to be even bigger. And I'm actually contemplating right now, man, I'm playing the hard decision because I'm going to make it better than I've ever done it. And I'm thinking about not increasing it because I was thinking, do I go big and have 1,000 people on the call and open it up to that many? Or do I actually limit it to Zoom's default, which is 100 people? So
bro, your master classes are so good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. Okay. But moving on, guys, we know here's our revenue goals. So if I want to make $250,000 in a quarter and I'm closing 75% of the deals that I lock up, I actually need to lock up $333,000. Okay. If my average deal size is 12,000, okay, I know simply, definitively, I need to lock up this amount of deals, 27.7 deals in a quarter in that 3-month time frame. If I'm averaging 3 offers per contract and it's taking me 35 leads to get a contract, we can move into the next phase. Okay. And this is part 1.1, which is offers needed to hit goals. So you guys thought we were done. We're not done yet. So team members need your acquisition reps. And some of you guys, you are your own acquisition rep, and that's okay. Eventually you'll have people who work underneath you. When you do have them, just know this. Your team members need to be held to making qualified offers after sellers have gone through qualification calls. So I just did the same thing while reading it, but whatever. That's what they're held to. You're not going to hold them to locking up a certain amount of money. You're not going to hold them to closing a bunch of deals, like in having the revenue hit the bank account. You have to hold them to one critical standpoint, and it's how many qualified offers are you able to make? That's what we hold them to. Number 2, you do not immediately, so I said this, hold your acquisition reps to closing deals. You hold them to the process of making qualified offers. Closing deals is not a process. That's a result. And there's so much shit that can happen, right? You may have missed a co-signer, right? It's a divorce, a lien killed the deal, whatever it is. A lot of shit can come up. You do not hold them to the result. You hold them to the process. Why? Because the process is something they can actually control. Does that make sense? A lot of times people hold their acquisition reps to the result. I need you to make me $100,000 per month or you're fired. No, they can't control that. They cannot control that. The economy's dynamic, markets shift, stuff happens. Title companies can screw up a deal. Are you going to fire them because of that? You only hold them to the variable they control, and that's making the dials and making a qualified offer on a seller who's ready to hear it. You hold them to that and you do your part and give them the leads. Easy. Okay. Number 3, this will help you understand, guys, this is important, how many people you need to hire and how many hours they need to potentially work. Alejandro, I'm sure you've seen it. A lot of times people, they'll get into the industry and they have no idea how many people they're supposed to hire, what their hours need to look like, how they can skimp on things. The reality is when you reverse engineer your numbers this way, you actually can factually know what it's going to take to run a business and what that logistically is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start on a quarterly basis. Okay. I'm going to show you how many offers and leads and contracts need to be locked up on a quarterly basis and how to go from quarterly to monthly to weekly. Okay. So a lot of these numbers are actually the same as before. So quarterly, if we want to realize revenue 250K, like we know that's our goal to take home that money, or our business takes that money. The projected revenue that we need to hit is 333. You guys get that? The amount of contracts is, this is wrong. What was it? 27.77. Go ahead and change that. That was just because that was the number that we had up top. So I'm just going to change that up here. The number of offers. Remember, if it's taking me 3 offers, okay, 3 offers to get a contract, and I want to lock up 27 contracts, my team over that quarter, those 3 months, has to send out 83 qualified offers. Now, Alejandro, I want to ask you something, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Saying $250,000 for someone who's on the newer side, like that sounds uncomfortable. But if I just tell you, hey man, I actually don't even focus on the number of $250,000, don't even focus on the number of 333,000, don't even focus on the number of 27, 28 contracts. I want you to think about one thing alone, and that is making 83 qualified offers over the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds a lot more doable, doesn't it?
It does.
A lot more doable. And when
I found also too is to like break it down into monthly, weekly. That way it sounds less daunting, or to take the information, quote unquote, less daunting.
Yep.
It depends on the person. Depends on the person.
Easy. And you're right. And that's why on the next couple of segments, I actually broke it down that way, and you're going to see it. And it's going to become stupidly easy. Now, if we know we're averaging, 35 leads per contract, doing cold calling, guys, and I have a tab for marketing here where I break down cold call, texting, direct mail, PPC, PPL, all of them. Okay. But we're going to use cold call specifically. If I know if I'm generating, to do, 35 leads per contract, and to hit this number, I know I need 972.2 leads. Okay. 972 leads effectively. What is that number? It's the 35 leads per deal times by the number, or per contract times by the number of contracts we want to hit, right? 35 times 27.7. We get this number. This number can feel a little bit daunting, but if you have a team of cold callers, it's actually not that hard, especially if each one that's a good VA is generating 2-3 leads a day minimum, right? You can actually get this number in 3 months pretty effectively. It's actually a lot easier than people think it is, but because I want to make things more bite size, I want to make things more attainable and approachable, what we're going to do is we're going to take it one step further, and we're going to go into monthly. Now, guys, I want you to see that all I'm doing here, and remember, you're missing a whole column here in J that I've deleted because I didn't want to distract everyone. Sam's insights are here. So right now you have me narrating all this and commenting on all this. Don't worry. When you get this, if you do the homework, you're going to get all the insights on the side so you can properly. Now, what I want you to do is don't even worry about these numbers. Don't even worry about these metrics. I actually want you to start with Sam's insights. Okay, realize revenue. Read Sam's insight in column J first, because I'll give you context and how to approach it, and then start thinking about the numbers. It'll help you internalize it more. So on a monthly basis, if I want to realize $250,000 a month, what I'm really realizing is 83.3. Guys, if you guys didn't know this, by the way, these metrics, $250,000 here, 83.3 here, you times this by 12. This is a monthly, right? Times this by 12. What does that equal, Alejandro?
$1 million, a milli.
It's a milli. If you guys actually do this and you can sustain this, you will actually make $1 million in a year. Now, I could have overwhelmed all of you guys by saying, let's do $1 million next year. Let's do $1 million in 2024. That sounds really freaking daunting. But if I say, hey, let's focus on doing 250 grand over the next 3 months. Let's focus on doing 83,000 over the next 1 month. It's a lot more attainable. It's a lot more reachable. But if you do these things, you will inevitably get the result of $1 million in a year. So super cool. So what am I doing to get this number right here, Alejandro? What am I actually doing here to get this number? All I'm doing,
qualified offers, man.
right? But right here, guys, what I'm doing specifically is I'm taking the realized revenue goal for the quarter. I'm just dividing it by 3. That's it. Dividing it by 3. So this is what I have to get in the quarter. Divide that by 3. In a month, that doesn't seem as hard, right? 111 total revenue, gross revenue locked up. Knowing that not all of it's going to close, a lot easier. Now, instead of thinking about 27 contracts in the quarter, which can sound a little bit daunting for some folks, now we have to do 9 contracts in this month. We're chunking it down. We're making it a lot more approachable and a lot more, you'll have a higher ability to process things for the right way. Now, number of offers. Remember, 3 offers per contract. 3 times 9.26. 28
Can I add
offers.
something too, Sam?
Yes, of course.
Sorry, let me interrupt you. I was trying to get you while you were on your break, but you're very specific with your words. You went right into it. But guys, really quick, we have Sam, you have myself, you have Daryl, you have Marlon. If any of these sounds, if your mind is just not allowing you to believe that this is something you can do personally, what I suggest you do is follow us, be in our community, follow us somewhere, wherever we're at, follow us and work with us, where you can see where we're actually making these type of numbers every single day.
Yep.
And once your brain starts absorbing like, oh, this is actually a normal thing here, you start to believe it. And that's the most important thing, man, because, we can show you all these numbers, but we can't fix your mindset. This is going to be all on you. So my advice is just follow us, join our community. Sam has his community, I have my community. We all do. Just follow us. Hey, which one of these guys actually it's kind of similar to my vibe. Let me just go follow this person. And I don't really care about vibe when it comes to like reaching my money financially, reaching my goals financially. I'm just going to follow whoever is doing better than I am financially. I'm going to follow you. I don't care if your hairstyle is just not something I don't like, whatever. I'm just going to follow you. So that's what I suggest what you guys do, because trust me, you can do it. I know there's somebody watching on the other side of the screen like, yeah, maybe in the next lifetime. That's what they want you to believe. But you can do this, and follow us to let your mind understand that is possible.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's not possible if you don't think it is. That's actually what led to Marlon and I both, and you. I think all 3 of us, we all had our first ever 6-figure month, the same month, February of 2021.
That's so crazy.
Right? And we weren't even like really close then. We all had our first ever 6-figure month. And for me and Marlon, we did it live in front of a crowd because someone in the audience said they didn't think a 6-figure month was possible for them. And up until then, Marlon and I had never done a 6-figure month. But then we intentionally, honestly, we just manifested the hell out of it, and it happened. It was an epic time. Before I get back into it, I want to say, let's catch up this. Hey, Jade. Jade, you are extremely late. Out of all the calls to be late to, this is not the one. This is not the one you should have been late to, but it's okay. Awesome. All right, let's get into it.
Anthony asked, you said 2021, right, Sam?
2022. Sorry, 2021. 2022. 2022 was my first ever 6-figure month. February of 2022. That was
Me too.
Yep. November 1st is when I got started, and then February I was 4 months in and I did it. I'll rewatch Don't Fret. I'm going to give props to Jade for just using different language. I love that. Okay, back into it, guys. We're just chunking these things down. Okay, we're going to make them more bite-sized so you can actually implement them in a meaningful way and talk to your team in a way that won't make them feel overwhelmed or discombobulated because you're throwing out these massive freaking numbers to them. So in order for you to do the quarter in a quarter, right, the 83 in a month, if you're averaging 3 offers per contract, that just means in 30 days you just have to send out 28 qualified offers. That's less than 1 offer a day. Like, actually think about that. It is so much easier than people think it is, than people make it out to be. The reality is, if you want to do $250,000 in 3 months, in the next 3 months of the year, I can guarantee you'll do it. And you don't even have to send out, you can send out less than one qualified offer a day. We're going to take it one step further, guys. The number of leads, right? The 972 on the cold call with a 1 in 35 conversion rate. All this stuff sounds, maybe that 972 sounds like a lot for you, okay? Well, let's divide it by 3. Now it's not 972, it's 324. And then if you've got, let's just say, I'm gonna take out my calculator here and I'm gonna see.
And this is, again, just while you do that, Sam, again, this is for cold calling leads as marketing.
Yep. This is for cold call specifically. And guys, I can only go over so much in the less than 12 minutes that we've got left. So I have to stick with one. I wish I could do all of this with you. I'll do that on marketing secrets. And that's why we need 5 hours for that one. 324, right? If you have, let's just say you have a cold caller, a good one's going to average 3 qualified, decent enough leads a day. And let's just say you have 3 cold callers, okay? Times 3, that's 9 a day. Okay, let me see. Yeah, if you even have 3 full-time cold callers and they're all crushing it, they should be generating 3 times. They're all doing 3. They're full-time. That's 9 a day times, let's just say 30 days in a month, 270. So yeah, you would need effectively on cold callers alone, potentially 4. You had 4 full-time cold callers. And then there's so many other ways to augment that. Now there's voice AI that's actually cold calling. So you don't even need the cold callers anymore. It's actually, I'm sorry, but it's true. And that can run theoretically into infinity. So you don't even need that many. It's actually freaking awesome. All right, let's get to the next part. And let's keep making it more bite-sized, guys. This is where things become really easy. If you want to make $250,000 or realize that revenue, you're not really making $250,000 in 3 months. All you're doing is you're making 20 grand in a week, which for a lot of people, that may seem like a ton. That may seem unfathomable. But trust me, when you get really good at this business, that's like, oh, okay. That's 1 to 2 deals a week. Okay. Projected revenue. I just need to lock up 27. My acquisition reps need to lock up at least 27K. That's 1 to 2 deals a week. Number of contracts. Think about this. It's no longer the 27 contracts, Alejandro. In a week, just lock up 2.3. Yep. If it's you and maybe you have a closer, even a solo person can do this. Alejandro, you said your acquisition manager did how many in a month?
27 contracts.
27 contracts, 1 person. Imagine if you have 2. Imagine if you have 3, right? And if you have 3 people, guess what? You divide this by 3. Then it's less than a contract a week. That's obviously an arbitrary number, but you guys get it. Number of offers. They're averaging 3 offers per contract. In a week, you just send out 7 offers, right? 83 may have felt overwhelming for some of you guys to think about. But number of offers, 7. That's it. Basically, like we said, an offer a day. And if you have 30, 31 days in a month, depending on the month, about leap year or whatever.
Hey, look who's here.
Who is it? I can't see.
Mr. Johnson's here.
Sam's in absolute like savage mode right now, breaking down killer KPIs. Like this is insane.
Absolutely.
He's doing the thing, bro. He's he's the one. He's from the Matrix.
He's the one.
Neo. He's the
That's
one.
Timmy Neutron right there.
Love that, dude. Good to see you, man. Hey, I need to say this, guys, publicly. If you guys didn't know, Marlon ran 100 freaking miles this past week.
Same, dude. This guy's
like,
wild.
I hope you guys realize that. Like, if anyone thinks like this is hard, like making $250,000 in the next quarter, you guys think that's hard? Imagine running 100 freaking miles. This is gonna be your new. This is gonna be your new hashtag, bro. 100-mile Marlon.
Oh, dude,
I wish, but like I definitely think you killing it in business is way more difficult than me running 100 miles. Like this is fun. Although by the way, this year I'm super hyped and like super excited about like what we got planned to do in business this year. So like, is everyone watching right now? Like is everyone committed to going out and making $250,000 in the first quarter of 2024?
Heck yeah, we actually got a few questions. Actually, not a question, but a statement here. Which is this one, Marlon? Maybe this is a good little warm-up for you to come in right here. What would you say to?
By the way, am I totally like just like hijacking what was happening here. I don't want to be hijacking anything. Like I got home in time. I was like, I want to jump on and I want to learn from Sam. Like,
no, you're good, bro. You're good. No, we're glad to have you, man. I felt like something was missing today, and now I feel whole again because you're back. But yeah, this is actually a great question.
Oh, yeah. Anthony Johnston says, my problem holding me back is submitting the contracts and being confident while doing so. So actually having the confidence when submitting in offers and submitting contracts to get signed by homeowners and realtors, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yo, I know Sam's got some sauce for this, but is it cool if I share on this one real quick? Because this was a game changer. Because Anthony, when you're submitting contracts and you're putting in those offers, the fact that you're saying like you're afraid, you're like not having the confidence while doing so, it's good that you're aware of that because that can be felt. Absolutely can be felt. And your energy, my buddy Zach would say to me that your energy enters a room and enters a conversation far before you ever do. Far before your offer makes it into the room, far before your words make it into the room, far before you make it into the room. And the room is metaphorical here, right? It's figurative. The idea, though, is the energy you carry about you is going to lead the way. So when we're looking at the fact that there's a confidence missing, what you're telling me is there's a lack of understanding of what you do and what you offer. And the fact is you are the buyer, my friend. When you go into the marketplace, you are the buyer. And the buyer is buying as an option. See, when you go and you submit that offer, you don't actually have to buy the property, but they have to sell. Remember that positioning. Because when you're worried about, but I'm not confident, remember, you're the one, you're doing this optionally. You're looking for a good deal. And if it's a good deal for you, great. You're happy if you buy. You're also happy if you don't buy. But when you start saying that you're not happy if you don't buy, when you start worrying that them saying no to the offer is somehow a negative reflection upon you, you're misconstruing where you stand in this power dynamic. You're here to solve a problem if it works in the way that you solve problems. And if they don't like your offer, they don't like your option, it's their prerogative. They'll let you know. They'll say no, and that does not reflect poorly on you, right? They're saying no to your offer. They're not saying no to you. And so what's going to help you with that, Anthony, is submit more offers, be told no, and still be alive tomorrow to realize it doesn't kill you. That's going to help you big time. Sam, what do you think, bro? Also,
I want to say this. I want to say this. Marlon did a phenomenal job at the power dynamic and a difference in being an authority, right? And a difference in being an absolute authority in the type of conversation, the culture of the conversation. What I want to do is I want to become a little bit more tactical with it and provide a more tactical kind of opinion on confidence in your offer, confidence in your contract. Naturally, what's going to happen is this. You're going to make an offer. You're going to have a certain confidence level. And then you're going to send out a contract. There will naturally be a little bit of a drop-off about whether or not, a natural drop-off in your confidence because that contract hasn't been signed yet. Okay, in that lag time, you will, because they could walk away. They could ghost, right? You're naturally going to have a drop-off in confidence. That's normal. What I want you to focus on is this, is what we talked about before. Is this person in a position, have they affirmed that they are ready to make a decision, yes or no, today? If they say yes, if you give me a qualified offer and you've taken through an entire qualification process, you know that the pain is real. You know that they're hurting. You know that they're in a position where they have told you over the phone that they are ready to make a yes or no decision. Shouldn't you will naturally feel more confident in your offer and your contract. And take it one step further. If you know their pain, you've done all your discovery right, okay? You've uncovered the landmines. You know about the spouse. You know about the heir. You got all of it accounted for. And you know, most importantly, that your offer is a solution to their problem that they've already told you they'll make a yes or no decision on. The confidence is guaranteed because you've done your part. You've controlled the controllables. Confidence, truly, in my opinion, comes from how many variables do you control. That's why when people are shotgunning, they don't have confidence because they control nothing. They're just shotgunning, hoping for something to stick. But if you've done your part and you've applied a lot of Alejandro's sales processes in how he's a killer closer, right? You've gone through Marlon's expertise and his training on getting more confidence in yourself as a person, and you know your numbers as well as I do. The confidence is guaranteed. It's guaranteed, absolutely. So I hope that answers the question. Let's get back into it because I want to make sure things are bite-sized, guys. So Alejandro, right? 83 qualified offers doesn't even sound like a lot, right? Monthly, an offer a day doesn't sound like a lot. In a week, 7 offers in a week, 7 qualified offers in a week. Is that daunting? Hell no. It's so much more easy. It's so much more easy to process and take on and implement. So I want you guys to think about this, okay? And the number of leads needed. If you're doing cold call, it's going to be 81 with a 35 to 1 conversion rate. But I want to make these things even more implementable, guys. So let me see. If you were doing not 35 leads, let's just say you were doing PPC, okay, Google Ads, and you were averaging 1 in 10 on the conversion rate. You don't need 35 leads, you need 10. It's going to cost a lot more money. I recommend sticking with cold call and getting optimized data to do the 35 instead of going on PPC. But if you're doing 10, okay, what's going to end up happening is how many leads per contract? You're going to need, I think this is a lot more. Yeah, number of contract 27 times that by 10 is 277. I'm going to go ahead and bring that down to a weekly basis. 23 leads in a week. It's not hundreds. It's not thousands. In order for you to make $250,000 to your bank account, not in profit, not in gross revenue, and deals are going to fall apart. No. $250,000 to be wired to your bank account over the next 3 months, and you're using PPC as your marketing channel. You're going to need 23 leads a week. Alejandro, does that sound a lot safer? Does that sound a lot easier? A lot less daunting?
Yes, absolutely. 1,000%, brother.
Awesome. Now, what I want to do is, because we are absolutely running up on time here, I want to show you guys what you're actually going to get as long as you do your part. So we've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. If you guys want this sheet, I'm going to show you what this sheet is. It's actually sick for all you knuckleheads that missed killer KPIs. I'm going to stop sharing this one, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this. And so, as I mentioned, Marlon doesn't know this because he wasn't here. I actually took a giant column out of the entire thing, and it was the most important column on that entire presentation. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like right now. We go here, boom. So killer KPIs, the stuff you need to track to make $1 million in 2024. You guys see this, right?
Yep.
See all this? Here's the most important part. A lot of people are going to charge you stupid amounts of money for them to tell you to go track this, that, and the other. And if you have zero context about why it's important, what it means, how to make pivots in your business based on it, none of it matters. It is not implementable. As human beings, we have to learn with context. You can't just give a human being a data point and say, here's a data point, go make $1 million business. Without context, people cannot implement. So I spent an obscene amount of time going through every metric, right? Explaining each of them, explaining how to get them, what they mean, what an industry standard is, what you should expect, what's healthy, what's not. And even on the more mathematical ones, I even explicitly tell you how to calculate this in your business. Now, I'm going to bribe you guys here. I want to be open and honest with that. I'm absolutely going to bribe you here. This is part 1, revenue goals, right? I'm going to show you how to do all the KPIs to make $1 million in 2024 with it. What does that look like in your marketing? How do you track your marketing spend? The P&Ls of it, the ROI, the tangibility of it all. How do you do that? How do you compare cold call versus, PPC versus PPL? What do those channels need to look like? And I've done all of it. Here's cold call. Here's SMS. Here's Google PPC. Here's direct mail. And there's more. At the end of the quarter, how do you make pivots based on it? All of this data, and the cool thing, guys, is this is all data from stuff I've actually done in my business. This is stuff that I've paid over $150,000 over the last 18 months learning. On a lot of this stuff, I've had to spend and lose a shit ton of money to learn all this. If you're hiring, this is going to be really important. I'm going to do a masterclass this year about how to build a spec ops team, how to build the goddamn SEAL Team 6 of real estate acquisitions. That's going to be a separate masterclass for a separate day. But how do you hold them accountable to things? It's all right here, guys. Deals, deal tracking. How do you make pivots? How do you actually know when to pivot in a business? All of it's here. And then I'm not going to show this because this is the most important tab right here that says bonus. That's an epic one. I'm going to give that to you guys later when you get the sheet. But here's, if you guys want this, it's simple. 2 things. You have to be subscribed to each of us. It's that simple. Alejandro's got it. I've got it. Marlon's got it. We have our Instagram @ on our tags. This is all you have to do. Take a screenshot, right? From later say, we're probably all going to smile at some point. Take a screenshot of it and then share it on social media and tag us. You do that, and I will send you the Killer KPIs document. Guys, that shit costs probably, if it was in any other mentorship, they probably charge you 20 grand for it. I'm giving away for free. That's the homework if you want it. That's it. Alejandro, do you have anything you want to wrap up with, man?
Yes, I would love to. Absolutely. I don't think Anthony Johnson is here, but for anyone who's needing the accountability or need help sending offers, need help underwriting deals, or you're not too confident about the deal you want to send an offer to, I have a free Discord channel that you guys can join. And there you have full access to my team, and we show you how to submit leads to us. And any lead that you guys submit to us, we always record a Loom on step-by-step on how we got that done. So if you're needing some help, feel free to join the Discord. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I want to wrap it up with. And thank you guys for this year. It's going to be amazing.
Dude, I love it. I actually want to highlight something real quick. I just saw it and I just lost it. This is for me. I'm going to just take a minute to talk about this. I'm looking forward to connecting with you all in San Francisco. So it's just going to be me. So for anyone who's watching who didn't know, I am going on a massive tour. I am speaking on so many more stages than ever before. I actually have 6 speaking events over the next 6 weeks. So in California, if you're in California over the next week, I have 3 events I'm going to speak at: San Francisco, San Diego, and LA in West Hollywood. So if you are interested in any of those events, they're free events. Come meet me, come meet my friends. I'm going to show you guys how to make a ton of money in real estate and how I'm personally going to crush it. Show up, meet me in person. This is amazing. I love being here with you guys and interacting with you guys, but getting to meet you in person is the best thing ever. So if you're in Cali, come meet me on the Cali tour. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. That's going to be, I think San Francisco is January 6th. So in 4 days, I'll be up there. Marlon, I'm just glad to be with you, man. I'm just so sick. It's just so cool to start off 2024 with Marlon freaking Johnson. It's the right way to do it.
Sam, like, how can I, like, do I need to buy tickets to come see you? Like, can I fly out to California and come hang out?
As long as you, I was about to say something stupid, inappropriate. No, dude.
Bro.
And it's cool. You and I are gonna do some epic stuff this month. I think you and I again are jumping out of a plane.
Dude, we're jumping out of planes in January.
That's sick, man.
We're jumping out of planes in I'm pretty freaking excited about that.
Love it, guys. You guys crush 2024, and remember this, guys. I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. 2024 doesn't start next month. It doesn't start next week. It doesn't start tomorrow. It started yesterday. Clock's ticking. Mm-hmm. Be aware of it. Hold yourself accountable. Get shit done. And if you're new, go make $250,000 in the next quarter. All right. Love y'all. Peace.